Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness was perhaps one of the most significant entries in the Marvel Universe in recent memory, in terms of the grand scope of the universe, with the fullest extent of the multiversal possibilities finally beginning to receive a more in-depth exploration. In the film, we saw Doctor Strange visit several different realities, all complete with their own cast of heroes, intriguing characters, and ripe histories to explore. Spoilers ahead for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Perhaps one of the most intriguing timelines was that of Sinister Strange, who inhabited a universe that was actively breaking apart on a fundamental level. We see that the laws of reality are broken, and the universe itself is destabilized, yet the only backstory that we are given is that the Strange of this universe lost to an unnamed individual or group, leading to the fracturing of his reality. Which leads us into the topic of today's video. Who did Sinister Strange lose to, and what occurred in this reality? Though little is learned about the past of his timeline, there is still evidence to deduce what might have happened to this reality and how it factors into the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the fate of Earth 616. So who did Sinister Strange lose to? What caused his universe to break apart? And is it possible that his loss might be attributed to one of the most avidly awaited Marvel villains in recent memory? Well, today, watchers, we hope to answer that very question and explore two separate theories, the first of which being that Sinister Strange lost to an invasion by a Kang, or explore an alternate theory that it might have been a character that broke this reality that we've already met in the MCU. In Multiverse of Madness, we learn of events called incursions. When visiting Earth 838, Strange meets with the Illuminati. The Illuminati has far more experience with multiversal tampering than our Strange does. Reed Richards describes an incursion as a result of prolonged multiversal overlapping, and he explains that when a multiversal traveler is present in a foreign timeline for too long, the risk of an incursion drastically increases. Reed Richards states that the universe begins to destabilize, and that an incursion can cost the lives of everyone on the affected timeline. The longer a universe is tampered with from the outside, the riskier the event of a collapse becomes, and this is caused by the very presence of an outsider and doesn't even need to be attributed to the actions that they take against the timeline as far as we know. Just simply being there is enough. Therefore, if a multiversal presence has affected Sinister Strange's Earth, then it could hint at something far larger on the horizon, as well as build to much higher stakes for the future of Phase 4. Higher stakes than even we were initially led to believe. Previously, we believed that the worst result of Kang's arrival was the complete conquest of a timeline, cursing his victims to live in whatever type of ruthless governmental system Kang set up for himself. This could constitute enslavement, executions, and any number of other heinous crimes, but it was assumed that there would always be some sort of underground defense force left to stand up against Kang. A revolution, a rebellion of some way, and some ray of hope that would lead the remainder of Earth's mightiest heroes to defeat any given Kang. If this theory is true, however, then it would mean that the arrival of Kangs does not simply indicate a war between timelines and the imminent conquest of neighboring realities, but it would actively trigger the very collapse of the universe wherein this new Kang has traveled, ripping apart the fabric of the universe on a fundamental level and ensuring that even if the heroes of any respective timeline can ward off Kang's incursion, the irreparable damage that he can still do with his very presence could spell certain destruction for trillions of lives. If Kang arrives, it's not merely a matter of war, but his very presence can lead to the destruction of Earth 616 no matter who is left to stand up against him, and no matter who wins this war. Even if the Avengers, the Guardians, and whatever heroes remain on Earth put up the fullest extent of their fighting capabilities, and even if they can defeat Kang, the damage might already be done, and their universe is at risk even if they beat their Kang. But we believe there is actually something larger at play here. Despite multiversal crossover having taken place before, this is the first we are hearing of incursions, and it seems like incursions tend to happen frighteningly easily by the Multiverse of Madness's logic. In What If, Infinity Ultron invaded numerous timelines with entire legions of drones, yet no signs of incursions were ever seen. Likewise, Earth 616 hosted no less than 8 multiversal refugees, that being the 2 variants of Spider-Man, the 5 villains from No Way Home, and Venom. Yet, Earth 616 is still intact with little evidence of long-term damage. On Earth 838, however, Doctor Strange triggered an incursion by dreamwalking and never actually visited another timeline in the flesh. Likewise, Clea arrives in the post-credit scene and tells R. Strange that he caused an incursion, presumably as a result of the events that took place during the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange, however, is only one individual and was only present in another timeline for a few hours at any given moment. This seems to hint that Doctor Strange is much more prone to causing these incursions than perhaps any other Marvel character is to date. And Reed Richards even states that Doctor Strange himself is one of the greatest threats to the multiverse. In the film, we hear Sinister Strange talking about his conflicts with other variants of Strange, and if Doctor Strange is much more prone to triggering these incursions, then this could hint that the universe was ripped apart by Strange's involvement with other iterations of himself from across the multiverse. It's even theoretically possible that this is the universe that Strange from 838 dreamwalked into, and why Sinister Strange lost so badly. If Sinister Strange was possessed by the Strange from the Illuminati on Earth 838, then it could indicate that Sinister Strange didn't actually lose a physical fight, but that he hosted 838 Strange via dreamwalking due to his inability to fortify his own mind. Perhaps this is the reality that Strange 838 destroyed that caused the Illuminati to in turn kill Strange. If this is the case, then Sinister Strange might hold himself responsible for the collapse of his universe, believing that he could have done something to prevent the multiversal self from dreamwalking into his mind. It could also fuel his feud with his other multiversal counterparts, as he hates other Stranges and has killed many of them, though we are never given much of an explanation as to why, only that he was fueled by jealousy for other relationships with Christine. If, however, he killed them because he blames his multiversal selves for the damage done to his timeline, then it could add another layer of depth to his story. This also leaves us to wonder what consequences might await the arrival of the Kangs, as we have yet to see how prone Kang is to causing these incursions. Given the size of his armada and the grip that he is set to take over entire timelines, it stands to reason that he will be able to destabilize realities with his mere presence, though whether or not he is as volatile as Doctor Strange is yet to be seen. If, however, Kang is prone to causing incursions, then it would dramatically heighten the stakes for his eventual arrival on Earth 616, and his very presence might destabilize reality as we know it. But anyway, watchers, what did you think of these two theories? What do you think of the theory that it was Strange from 838 that caused the incursion in Sinister Strange's reality? Or do you believe it could have been the arrival of a Kang that caused him to lose? We'd love to hear your thoughts on these two theories in the comments down below. As always, my friends, hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and we hope that you have a great day.